I'm old school like that. I still love things that are driven by narrative. I feel that's what cinema essentially is all about. And you can have a much larger, deeper, more complex, more detailed, narrative when you make content which is spread over 5-6 hours.
Starting with Stree, they saw this strangely quirky, funny side that was always there, but it was more prominent because it went on to become so big and all. So they saw that this is what we've been at. In every star, there is an actor, of course, because they're actors first, and they all are waiting to express themselves.
Don't think saying that film stars are bigger and OTT is a smaller platform. I don't really see that as relevant.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be equally depressing for me if somebody picked up something that I did and saw 20 minutes and then didn't feel like watching anymore.
So that's a lot in Shahid, and he was one of the first guys one of the movie stars, like you would call, who jumped up and said, I want to do a series. That shows something, right?
Yeah, I mean, regardless of the industry, regardless of star power, I think the first and foremost thing is you're an actor, number one.
When kind of Vijay sir's name came up, it was kind of similar. They were like, hey, like we're thinking of approaching him, he'll be great. And I was like, yeah, man, he'll bring so much to the show. I know I have heard rumors of heroes having problems with heroines. I'm like, where are you? What universe are you in? 15 years, 16 years of my work. I do feel I'm a very different person now than what I was.
So the people that I'm sitting here with today, one of them has taught us what ishq actually means, and the pyar that we have for him is not Farzi at all. And with him, we have the creators who have actually got the whole of the Bollywood kind of lining up to work with them. And today it's an honor for me to be sitting in their company. So Shahid, Raj sir, and Krishna sir, welcome to Bollywood Bubble.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I have to start by saying the trailer of Farzi looked amazing, and there's a side of Shahid that the audience has loved to see that we are getting a glimpse of again. So I would like to start by asking Shahid, like the transition to OTT, the decision to come on the digital platform. How did you kind of decided that you wanted to take this route at this stage of your life?
Firstly, thank you, man. I'm so happy you like the trailer and you're connecting with it. It wasn't so difficult. I mean, I had myself been watching a lot of content and enjoying it. And I felt like it was a platform that was providing a different experience to the audience, a different way to connect with the audience, and a different opportunity as an actor to do a long format kind of show where you can delve deeper into a character. You can create a bigger graph for the character. And generally, the narrative is, I'm old school like that. I still love things that are driven by narrative. I feel that's what cinema essentially is all about. And you can have a much larger, deeper, more complex, more detailed, narrative when you make content which is spread over 5-6 hours. And that's still your first season. You can go ahead and make more. So it gives a very different opportunity. And I felt I was ready for it. And I was looking for somebody to do it with. And guess who knocked my door?
Yeah, and I feel like even if they wouldn't have knocked your door, you would have reached there to knock on theirs.
Because I would have broken the door. Why knock?
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that is the whole of Bollywood is kind of doing right now, because Raj and DK, you are working with most of the leading men who are foraying into OTT. What do you think is the secret behind it? The reason why everyone is kind of looking forward to working firstly and foremostly with you when they are delving into this space?
Okay.
It's I don't know. I mean, I think everybody enjoyed The Family Man a lot. So it kind of starting with Stree, they saw this strangely quirky, funny side that was always there, but it was more prominent because it went on to become so big and all. So they saw that this is what we've been at. And I think even they've been watching a lot more content from across the world. So, it opened up a lot more to the kind of stories can also be like this, can also have these genre mashing or, the kind of stuff we do, I guess. And The Family Man became even bigger a testament in terms of the kind of stories that can be told that can encapsulate a lot more than a singular idea or a specific aspect or a specific genre. It had a mix of everything. So you could kind of see that this is something unique and interesting. And I think in every star there is an actor, of course, because they're actors first, and they all are waiting to express themselves, and they all saw the long format. They're all still seeing the long format being such a great window to express themselves. So that's what it is. I think the actors in them want to break loose.
Yeah, I just have to say we're privileged. We're privileged to be here and doing this good stuff, and having the ability now to work with so many actors. I mean, that's also something that we cannot take for granted. It's a great privilege that we have, that we can work with all of them.
Yeah, and sir, like the OTT in the last 2-3 years, I think has boomed so much that we have something new coming every week and multiple things coming every week. There's a lot of content that is coming out. There is space for it, but how do you make sure to that you stand out amongst the crowd, that you still be appealing to the crowd?
You're asking how do we do it? I mean, I'm saying, I think in a simple sense that we think what is not there in a way. If there is an idea that we already have and you realize that it's already there or it's something that's been done again, I don't want to do it, because what am I bringing new to the table? Or how are we challenging ourselves if we're doing the same thing as what we did earlier or what is out there? So the idea is to see what can we bring fresh to the table. And also, I think what we have learned over the past few years is to look ahead and see, are we still going to be relevant? Is the story going to be relevant in a year, 2 years from now, from the inception of the idea? So maybe that kind of gives us maybe, I don't know, like a forethought or something.
Vision kind of.
Yeah.
They're not really in the crowd. No, they're, I think, ahead of the crowd.
Yeah.
They
have established that from the starting that they are. And I have said this to Dasa Pele, ki matlab, I had loved The Gentleman. I don't know how many people have, but I have loved that film when I watched it. And there is an appeal to it. And that's, I think, where the start of the appeal of Raj DK as a door started for me. That's the first film I saw that really I loved. And Shahid, I think you can answer this better, that why are actors who are bigger stars on films are kind of migrating towards working with Raj DK? What is the appeal that is kind of appealing to you as an actor?
I mean, I can't speak for others, and I don't really think anybody's migrating. I mean, you can work on either side, and I don't think saying that film stars are bigger and OTT is a smaller platform, I don't really see that as relevant. I think everybody understands that OTT is a very, very wide platform, and there is scope for growth on this platform. And everybody knows that it's traveling. And I just feel everybody's looking for a good film, good filmmakers, good opportunities. Everybody's looking for that. So when you see somebody's work and you enjoy their work, and you as a viewer, you've loved it, it's only normal to then want to collaborate, right? I mean, that's why a filmmaker collaborates with an actor, because he must have liked them and something that they did and felt like, hey, I want to work with that guy, Kind of like making friends in a bar, right? I mean, you like the way somebody talks, you like somebody's sense of, you want to meet them again. I mean, making is kind of like that. You look at somebody, you say, hey, I like that. And then you want to work with them,
True. But like the delivering good content is always the aim for, be it anyone working on a project. But like the stress or maybe the not worrying about the box office figures, is it a little refreshing when you are on OTT for you, Shahid?
No, because for me, it's about audience love. It's about giving them a good time. I mean, it would be equally depressing for me if somebody picked up something that I did and saw 20 minutes and then didn't feel like watching anymore, That would be terrible, So just because there isn't like this big hoopla about numbers doesn't mean that eventually you are there because you want the end consumer to be satisfied. And on certain occasions, over satisfied or overjoyed or ecstatic with what they saw. That has to be the endeavor. So just one box office number, that's more like maybe from a media point of view, but like from me, I work from a very personal place. I work in a very, like, for me, I feel like that guy who's spending that time. I think time is even more valuable than money. Time is the only thing you can't get it back. Once it's gone, it's gone. You don't want to waste somebody's time. You want them to feel that, you gave them a good time. So whatever platform, wherever, even if I'm doing an ad, even if I'm doing a show, I would want whoever is watching that to like have a smile on their face or like it.
Yeah.
That's important for me.
Yes. And Rajan DK sir, like when you bring two artists from different industries together who are big names in their respective industries already, how much kind of it influences your work and how much it inspires your work when you see the kind of craft and experience that they bring together? Like in this case, Vijay sir and Shahid coming together.
Shahid has been amazing to work with in terms of, because see, at the end of it, like I was saying earlier, extend that point that only a solid actor can hold you in a series. There has to be a lot of it to capture you. Otherwise, it will be a story-driven thing, and you wouldn't remember the characters later.
Yeah.
So there needs to be a strong actor and the passion to show that. So that's a lot in Shahid, and he was one of the first guys one of the movie stars, like you would call, who jumped up and said, "I want to do a series." That shows something. Right? This was almost a couple of years ago when we were not thinking of approaching movie stars per se. So he knew the future, and he also felt the need to do this long format. So right there, you're getting somebody who is right off the bat as passionate as you in doing this. It's not like we have to go and convince him to do a series. So that's the big difference there, right? Yeah, I mean, he was he knew the series or the story as much as we did, and that also takes a lot because it's a thick ass story, right? It's huge. It's very long. So so all those things really took the material from here to there, So yeah,
and it's imperative. I mean, regardless of the industry, regardless of star power, I think the first and foremost thing is you're an actor, number one, and that's pretty much the only requirement, that you can hold the audience for that long. And of course, if you're a star, then makes it all the more easier because people just love watching you on screen. That's why you're a star. So it helps.
Yeah. And I feel like it doubles the audience as well because both sections bring in their kind of fandom. But like Shahid, whenever two big names of any kind of same gender come together in a project, a narrative is built about a competition or insecurities or things like these. How you have been part of multiple hero projects, be it Urta Punjab or be it now Farzi and before this Padmavat, how have you kind of evolved on the concept of dealing with another hero in the same project as you?
I never felt like that, like somehow with Farzi. I never felt like ek aur hero aa raha hai or something. I mean, I think I was the first person who came on to Farzi. And we kind of became like, we used to talk like friends or co-collaborators and discuss every aspect of the show. I would say what I feel, they would tell me what they're thinking. And when kind of Vijay sir's name came up, it was kind of similar. They were like, hey, like we're thinking of approaching him, he'll be great. And I was like, yeah, man, he'll bring so much to the show. And that's pretty much what it was. It never got into those technicalities of ek hero, do hero. It was just like, yeah, he'll be amazing and he'll add so much value. And that's exactly what you want, right? On what you do, you want. I know I have heard rumors of heroes having problems with heroines. I'm like, where are you? What universe are you in? This is one team. They're all together. If it does well, everybody benefits. And there are films which will be centered around one character, and then there are films or shows which will not just be independently about one character. You might be front-facing it, but for it to be a complete experience, it needs to have some very solid stuff happening in it. I knew the subject. I mean, Vijay sir's role is kind of integral to the show. So is Rashi's, and so is KK Sir's, and so is Firoz, played by Bhuvan. I mean, Amol Sir. These are all very integral characters in the show. This show is made like that. When you create a world, you need to see the whole world, and then you can take it forward to maybe a second or a third season. If you haven't kind of developed the supporting characters or other characters apart from one protagonist, then how do you take it forward? You can't.
So, Shahid, I remember the first time I saw you conning the system, kind of, was in Badmaash Company. And now you are doing it again in Farzi. It's a very different role, very different concepts, but you are conning the system in the end. But how do you see the evolution that you have gone through as an artist during this time? Physically, I can say from the chocolatey boy to the hot brooding man that we can already see. But apart from that, as an artist, the growth that you have seen from that time to now.
It's very difficult to put it in words. Yeah, it's like, literally 15 years, 16 years of my work. I do feel I'm a very different person now than what I was. And I think I have a slightly more laid back and very instinctive approach towards things. I just like to do what comes to me naturally. I don't question myself too much. I like to actually empower myself to do what my instinct is telling me to do. And that usually lands. Other than that, just another day at work, man. Many years gone by, still doing what I love and wanting to do more and more of it. That's what it is, And thankful that people consider me relevant, because it's been a while. So I'm thankful that I'm still relevant.
Yeah, and it's been a while. You're still relevant, and you will continue to do so because of the line of work that you have done and the kind of projects you choose. And I really wanted to meet you in person. Like I met Rasa, so Shahid and DK. These two people I have yet to meet in person. But I'm sure we're going to have many more opportunities in the future that we get to do this.
Yes.
Shahid, thank you for giving us a line of work that we have always admired and feel inspired from. And I'm sure you're going to continue doing so in the future as well. You have always been a darling of the press, the audience, and you will continue to be so because of the aura that you radiate. As for Raj DK, sir, you are doing some tremendous work that is path-breaking for not just Indian industry, not the Hindi industry, but the Indian industry as well. Your collaborations that you have in future with the Russo brothers and every other things that you're doing, they are path-breaking and they will continue to be so. Thank you for giving me this time. Thank you for being the gracious guest, and can't wait to meet you all in person. Wishing you all lots of love and luck for Farzi and everything you do in the future.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.